Hi, this is Kate from Izzalicious Designs. So I wanted to do a shoe today. We've done the Izzy Busy little shoe, and as you know, it's got the little round base because she's got little round feet. But if you have an American Girl doll, this shoe does not really fit, which is not really surprising because it wasn't designed to fit this. But there we go, look at this. You see you've got this rounded base here, and the toe sort of pokes further than the sole of the shoe. And Izzy was saying to me, it'd be really good, Mummy, if these shoes fit my American Girl doll. So with a little bit of jiggery pokery, that's a technical term, I came up with a different design, which is like this. And we have a little oblong sole, and this fits our doll a lot better. As you can tell, the foot does not go over the sole, and we still have the little button here to do, well, it's not really to do it up, but it's supposed to pretend that it does it up. And you can do them any colour you want, but they do fit, and I think it looks a lot nicer. So that's what we're going to make today. We're going to make this little shoe, and we're going to start by making a base for it, which will be like this. Alright, so the colours that we're going to need, I'm going to use these little ducky beads. Well, they're not beads, they're buttons. I have another one here, and they do not have the, gosh, if I can pick it up, they don't have the little loop at the back, they have the two little holes. So to thread my band through that, I have a metal threader which I made from a twisty tie, and I have a tutorial on how you can make one of these on my tips and tricks, not my Loomigurumi tips and tricks, my regular tips and tricks. And then the colours, I'm going to make mine red and black because that's what this one is, and then I will have a pair. So that would be quite good. Alright, so how we're going to get started. We're going to get started by doing a chain. Okay, so with your hook, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Let's make sure we're all centred and in focus and whatnot. You're going to take your hook with one band, you're going to just do a figure 8 on your hook like this, and we're going to chain 10. So this is number 1. Your little end cap does not count as 1. The first chain is this band here. 2, 3, whoops, I went too far there. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now, what we're going to do, we're going to count back 3 bands from our hook. So this is band number 1, band number 2, band number 3, and we poke our hook through that one. Okay, and this band here will become our first stitch. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use a stitch marker, and I'm just going to pop my stitch marker in that little loop here, okay, on my third one back, and then on the other side I'm going to poke my hook through, and I'm going to do a little slip stitch like this. I'm going to do my single crochet and pull it through these 2 loops here, like so. So this is our first stitch here. I'm going to do single crochets till I get to the last stitch of my chain. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this is my last one because this is my end cap. Alright, if you can see, this is my end cap, so this is my last stitch. Now in my last stitch, I'm going to do 4 single crochets. I'm going to do 2, so here's my first one, 1, I'm going back into that stitch, there's my end cap here. I'm going to do number 2. Now you can chop this end cap off. Because you've got 2 single crochets in there, this stitch is more than secure. So I'm going to just chop the little end cap off because it just gets in the way and is messy. So we did 2 single crochets, we need to do another 2. So this is number 3. And the next one in that same end stitch is number 4. Now the reason we do 4 is because we need our single crochets to get around the corner here. We have a curve, we need it to get around there. If we just did 1 it would look very odd. We're now going to do single crochets back to our first stitch. So 1, 2, oops, go through both loops, make sure my stitch marker isn't in the way, okay, that was my end. This is my first stitch here. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to change, I'm going to do 2 single crochets, 1 single crochet, 2. So in this first stitch I'm going to do 2 single crochets. Here's my first one. I'm going to move my stitch marker to it. This is just to give us an indication of which side is the beginning and which side is not. Do my second single crochet. This top one here, we're just going to do 1 single crochet in. And then this one over here, we're going to do 2. 1 and 2. Straighten it out a bit, it might look a bit lopsided or oblong or whatever. We're going to go into the next stitch here. We're just doing 1 single crochet until we get to the other end again. 1. Now, this is my last stitch here because if you have a look, oh it's not, I'm sorry, I'm telling you fibs, you're going to want these last 3 stitches, 1 either side and 1 in the middle. So I've got to do a single crochet in this one, and then this one here is my last stitch before I get to the top one here. So I'm going to do 2 in this one, 1 and 2. I'm going to do 1 in the top one, and I'm going to do 2 in the next one. So as I go round these corners I'm doing 2 either side with 1 in the middle, and then single crochet back to your stitch marker for the beginning of our round. Oops, let's not drop all our stitches, that would be sad. Okay, so now if you have a look, we have 1, 2, 3, so I'm going to do 2 in this one, 1 and 2. I'll move my stitch marker. Again, it's just a visual indicator of this side is the beginning and this side is not. I'm going to do 1 here and 2, 1, 2. I'm going to do singles all the way down until we get to the other end. Okay, so I'm going to do 1 here. I'm going to do 2 in the next one. One in the top one. And 2 in the next one. And then single crochets back down to my stitch marker. And when I get to that stitch marker, I'm going to stop because we get to change colours. So here we go. As you can see, sort of like this little oblong like this. Alright, so now I'm going to do a single black stitch here, change my stitch marker to this stitch here, and now we move to red. So that is the sole of my shoe. Alright, so now no more blacks, don't have to do any more black bands. I'm going to get those out of the way completely. So red bands, and what we're going to do is go through the front post just like we did with the other shoe. We're going to go through the front of the stitch as if we were doing our next single crochet. Now I'm going through, I've actually done this stitch here, as you can tell I've done it, but this is the first post next to it, so I'm going through that post like this, and I'm going to do a slip stitch and add this black band to it like so, and I'm going to move my stitch marker to that stitch. That's my first one. I'm going to go through the next post. I'm going all the way around, just doing single crochets in the front post. If you're not familiar with a front post stitch, please check my Loomigurumi tips and tricks, and I have all the different stitches that I've worked out how to do in there. And I go through quite slowly and quite detailed close-up view of how to do these stitches. So each one, instead of going through the stitch, you're going through the post of the stitch all the way around until we get back to our stitch marker. Make sure you go through both stitches for it, either side. Oops, I'm busy undoing all my stitches, that's silly. There we go. nearly back to the beginning. Okay, so here I've got this one, and here. And I'm going to turn this inside. I have one more. I've got to go through this stitch and come out the other side of the red stitch. Okay. And now I can go through this first stitch that my stitch marker is on, do a single crochet, and move my stitch marker to that stitch, like so. We're going to go around twice doing single crochet. So this is my first round, single crochets in red all the way around. Make sure you don't skip a stitch. So that's the end of my first round. We're going to do another round, so go through that first stitch. We will move our stitch marker onto this one, and around we go again for round 2. And I'm back to the beginning again. I'm going to do a single crochet in that first stitch and move my stitch marker. That is stitch number 1. So if you can have a look here, stretch it into shape a bit. This is the sole of the shoe that you formed, and this is, we're starting to build up the shoe here, the base of the shoe. Alright, what we're going to do, you can use marker bands, you can use stitch markers, it's completely up to you. I'm going to use, have I got any stitch markers? I've got one, yes, I've got a couple of stitch markers here, but I also have marker bands. What we need to do at this stage is work out where we're going to do our our decrease, and we're wanting to do it here to here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. There's like about 14 stitches around here, okay, that we're going to do decreases in. So what we're going to do is we're going to mark approximately where we want to start this. So you can do it with a black band if you want, if you happen to have those handy. If you want to do this side to this side, if you think that looks about right, probably does. So we're going to single crochet down to here, and then at about this point, so we've got that's our first stitch, so 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the 8th stitch down, and from back here again 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's the 10th stitch down. And the reason this is shorter than this is because this is not flush in the middle anymore. The middle would be here. So if you were counting it from here, which is the middle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that's 9. And here it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Okay, so it's 9 either side from the middle, or about that you're going to count. Okay, so we're going to do single crochets in red until we get to that first marker band. And at that spot, we're going to work through the front loop only. So I'm going to get rid of the marker band, and I'm going to go through the front loop of the next stitch. So the front loop only, and the front loop of the stitch ahead of it. Okay, and we're doing a decrease. So pull your band through and join. Okay, and again in the next stitch through the 2 front loops only of those 2 stitches, and we'll do this until we get to the marker band on the other side. Oops, that's 2. One, 2. 1, and then through this one and this one, take your marker band out, do your decrease, and then in the next stitch you're doing single crochets until you get back to your stitch marker. Whoa, that was fun. Let's loop these back up again. Or not. Gosh, is this a sign? It's telling me it doesn't want to be looped up. There we go. Through both loops. Now our next round, get rid of these black bands, is going to be single crochet all the way around. Okay, so change your stitch marker, and we're just doing single crochet all the way around. And you're doing single crochet till you get to the stitch marker again. There's my first stitch. I'm going to go through, I'm going to move my stitch marker, put that on like so. So this is effectively my little shoe. Okay, now I'm going to turn it into a MaryJane by putting the little strap across. Now when we count the strap, if this is the center, okay, about here, we're going down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Actually that one is one lower than the other, so 6 on either side from the middle. Let me get my hook out. Now this is not exactly the middle. I'm going to guess that this is about the middle. I'm going to put a black marker band right there, okay, just so that I know that this is what I'm calling the middle. Tie a little slip knot. There we go. So I'm going to call that the middle, and I'm going to count down 6 either side. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So I'm going to put a marker band here, like that. Now this is number 1, okay, this is number 1 for our next round, but if you count here, we've got 1, 2, 3, and we can put our hook in, and I'm counting, I'm saying, even though I know this is 1 for the next round, it's 3 from this one here. So 3, 4, 5, and this will be number 6. I'm going to take 2 bands, pull the 2 bands through, put my loop onto the end of my hook like that, and reclaim, and that's my first chain. Now for the chain for this, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was 1. So here's number 2. 3. 4, 5. Now if you think that's enough, I don't, I'd like to do 1 more, and here is 6. I'm going to take my hook out, put it through the other way. Okay, so that is 6, and it's going to marry up to where I have that black band here. So I'm going to put my hook through, take the black band out. I can take both of those black bands out. I'm going to take a single, pull it through the shoe, but then I'm going to add these loops on like this. Now if I was doing the shoe this side, so that's the left, I would be able to just put, I would go one over the other, and with this loop I would put my little threader, and I would attach my button this side by grabbing my button. I can take my hook out, going through the little loops on my button like this. Oopsie. Pulling it back and up and over to secure. Okay, so I would, here's my loop here, I want to pull it back through the inside. Sorry, I'm trying to show you. Through the inside here, and then splay it open and pop it over my little button. Okay, like that, and then I have my little button sitting there on my shoe. If I want to put it on the other side, which would be here, what I have to do is undo this, because I just need to tie this off. I don't need to do the little button here. I need to pull that little band tight, as in a tie-off band, and then I need to hide it on the inside of the shoe so that nobody can see that little bit. So hide that on the inside of the shoe like that, and then on the opposite side I need to take a band, and you're basically going to be going through one band here and one band here, so that it's not going through the same spot. Okay, and you're going to pull it through like this. All right, now do a little slip knot so that you've got one loop, and on that one loop you put your threader. You're going to thread your little button, one side, two sides, and now if you go through here from the back, grab the end of your loop, pull it up, you're going to splay it open and just pop it over your little button like that, and it will sit on the other side of the shoe. And there you go. Let's see if it fits. I've used different bands. Let's grab her little foot and pop this on. There we go. And it does fit. Now this one I did last night, so it's had a little time to relax. And these are opaque bands on this one, and these are, I think they're a new band from Rainbow Loom. They're just called Solid, and I very cleverly put them in the same packet, which was a bit silly because they are actually very different. So there we go, there's her little shoes. I hope you enjoy making. I think they're really, really cute. Izzy likes them, so that's all that really matters. She's got the undersoles there. They fit nicely. I'm not too concerned that her feet are going to outgrow, or she's going to get sore toes because they're not fitting. They fit nicely. She's got lots of room to grow in them. I hope you enjoy making. Take care. Bye.